This is Paul, Golden Gate Enterprises. We are in a house in San Francisco that we just finished replacing the door. This is the old casing on the inside. Still actually in good shape. It just needs to be fixed up. But the new door is in, and you'll notice something that we did that was very different from the door that was here. This door is actually raised up by this thickness here relative to the floor on the outside of the decking. Before, the door was pretty much level with the decking, and when you get wind-driven rain, water would want to migrate in underneath the door. That was one problem. So what's happened now is we have that, and before we seated our door, Sal went ahead and put in a waterproof flashing system that's in here that comes in, hits that piece, that little vertical rise, so it's like a dam, and then the waterproofing comes underneath. Now what we're going to do is put another piece of flashing underneath here, and this piece of flashing will be nailed to the decking, and this way water can't make its way in here. So that's one important detail. And the other thing is this door, or the old door should I say, was never put in properly. Number one, the door wasn't weather stripped properly. Number two, there was never any flashing detail above the actual window jamb. And if you look carefully, there's our Fortiflash paper, and this is a new piece of siding, that's a new piece of siding, and we brought our new paper up underneath the existing siding, and when we got down here, we put our Fortiflash and we brought it down and over the top of the door jamb. So any water that hits this wall system and comes down, it has to come out here. It can't work its way into the door system over here. So all of this is going to get trimmed out with a trim piece in the first place, but anything that gets into the wall system is managed properly. And then if you look at the detail here on the side of the door, there is no place for water to get in. This is all underneath the paper that's here, so anything that goes into this wall system is going to have to stay on the outside of this. You can see this corner is completely sealed. There's no way for water to come. It's all managed to the outside of the wall. And then lo and behold, we have a deck here. You can see the piece of flashing that Sal put in here. The water is managed in that corner. It hits it, and it has to be forced out this way, and it's really no place to go, and it can't get into the wall system. And we have similar details all the way around here. This is brand new shear wall that's here. This is our double D jumbo paper, so it's actually 2 layers of paper. We've got it
60 mil.
Yep, so it's 60 mil, it's a thicker paper. We've got our Fortiflash to flash in all of the sides. None of this was ever done properly before. And then an additional detail that we put in, it's kind of hard to 100% see here, but you can see we've got a piece of Z flashing here. So it comes up here, comes out, and it's counter flashed over a piece of flashing that came from underneath this decking here. And so we brought it here over that other piece of flashing. The bottom line is that when we get a piece of finished siding and it gets finished, it's going to be held off about maybe inch, something like that, off the bottom. Any water that hits here now, it's got to hit here, and it's got to get pushed out this way, and it's either going to go underneath this deck board and drip, or follow this channel all the way down to the end where it's open. Before, the way this was set up, it was 2 pieces of siding locked together, and what happened is water would just migrate down the wall system, and it was all trapped behind this area here, and they're very fortunate it didn't rot out the whole wall back there. So this is a lot better detail. So it's almost like 2 separate wall systems now. The break is right here, and then we've got another section of the wall right there. So you can see all the detail that goes into getting this all done properly, but this is how you prevent future water problems. So if there is any water leaking in and around this area, it's not coming from the area we repaired. It would come from the pre-existing walls that are up here, which anything's possible. One thing that Sal did note here, and we'll take a look at it, this siding was nailed in with this size nail right here. And where's a piece of siding, Sal? Here.
Right.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to grab my piece of siding here, and the siding is like this. Okay, and if you look at the siding, it's the nail sticking through like that, and normally you'd say that's fine. The real problem is, you see where Sal has his nail? There's a piece of shear wall sheetrock underneath it before you hit the framing. That's about where Sal's nail is right there. So that's another piece of material that's on the wall right there. The only part that's biting into the actual framing is probably at best, what's that, about 1/4 of an inch, if even, right? So, and now hold this nail, which is the incorrect nail, and put your real nail there. What is that, a 10D?
Yep.
So 8. So look at the difference in the bite. That's what should be holding this siding onto the building. So what happens with all of that? Well, if you were here and you could see it, you can see all the waves in the siding, and you can see where it's all pulling away from the wall system in lots of places. And as it pulls away, you can see where some of the tongue and groove areas, you can see it up there by that ladder, it's all pulling away, and it opens up the tongue and groove, and that's where you end up getting water that works its way into the wall. So looks like at least this whole area in here was nailed off with the wrong nails. I can't attest to the other areas, but that just gives you an idea. So these are kind of the things that when they're not done properly, they sneak up on you. But anyway, this is Paul with Golden Gate Enterprises with a quick view and the details that have gone into putting this all back together. One other note that I will make, if you look at our earlier videos, you saw that there was, let's just say a decent amount of rot in the window system here, and while it would have been easy to say pull out the whole window system and replace it, I would certainly, as I explained to the owner, say it was serviceable and you could get a whole lot more life out of it. And if you remember in our other video, our first video, this was all completely rotted out. This was all completely rotted out. There was a huge hole in here that went in probably about, what, 1.5 to 2 inches deep from here to here, and we use a special dry rot repair process that is a 2-part epoxy that's specifically designed for repairing dry rot, and we put on multiple coats of it. There's a special process you go through, and then we put in our filler material that comes in here, and it dries rock hard, but the material we use is a very expensive material. It dries hard, but it still maintains a high degree of flexibility, so it doesn't crack like other types of fillers. So it's actually designed for filling voids and holes in dry rotted areas. So this just gets sanded out, painted, and it's better than new. Same thing over here. So we've done that in multiple places here on this window here to kind of put it back together again without having to replace the whole window system. And these types of little details, by the way, we can fix and repair and replace, but the trick is to kind of catch these things before it completely rots out and deteriorates, you know, the whole window. So in this case, while all of this was rotted out in here, it did not rot out the bottom of the sill, which is good. It was just all up in here, so it was very salvageable is probably the best way to put it. Okay, so this is Paul, Golden Gate Enterprises, with another quick view of one of our jobs here, and we'll keep you posted. We specialize in dry rot, structural repair jobs throughout the San Francisco Bay Area. This is down in San Francisco here. We do a lot of work in the city of San Francisco, as well as down the peninsula and across the East Bay. And if you don't see Sal out working somewhere, you'll see our truck and one of our other red shirts out there. Okay, so thanks for watching our video. Take care. Bye-bye.